Harris Ford Smith. Morning light breaking through the sky. Tommy and Ty got that crazy drive. Tune in now, don't be shy. Morning Rush gonna make you feel alive. Wake up, it's time to go. Tommy and Ty, they steal the show. ESPN Arkansas, feel the flow. Morning Rush, Morning Glow. Sports talk hit the ground running. Life's and news always done. Game day vibes got you humming. Catch the beat, it's coming. Wake up, it's time to go. Tommy and Ty, they steal the show. ESPN Arkansas, feel the flow. Morning Rush, Morning Glow.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studio, produced by Colton Little. This is the Morning Rush.
Are we on? King, do you know?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good deal. Christian Johnson, Colton Little here for you on the Morning Rush today. Ty and Tommy are inundated with important business meetings, as you might have heard yesterday. And this is actually a real legitimate business meeting. I have gotten confirmation that they're both there. They're not actually just like at the golf course where they say, I have a sales meeting, and really they're going to play 18. No, they're actually there. And you know what, Christian? It's honestly kind of weird because it's literally just me and you and Lauren in there, who's Betty's daughter, who helps us around here sometimes with paperwork and all the important things.
The three youngest.
It's literally the three youngest people here, and it's very, very odd. It's very strange to not have Betty and Cindy here, who truly, honestly run this entire building like it's the Navy, and they do a very good job of it. But it's very, very odd to not have our full cast of characters here in Barling today. But nonetheless, we're here on the Morning Rush this morning. Myself, Colton Little, Christian Johnson. We're going to get you through the next 2 hours. Masters Week has officially begun. The Razorbacks, they're on the road to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama in a weekend series over there. We've got some other news coming out from the NCAA regarding eligibility rules, age limits. Spring football is underway, basketball transfer portal. There's a lot of stuff to get into today on the Morning Rush, Big C.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man, and good to be here with you this morning. Beautiful intro.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the
Tommy and Ty.
Morning Rush house band right there.
Yeah, and Tommy actually had a chance to go to the and had the sales meeting. So I kind of feel for him there, but
well, you may be the only one, but I do know that Tommy was very upset and incensed that he couldn't make it out there to Augusta. But nonetheless, while the cat's away, Christian, us mice will play. The good thing is they're actually in that meeting, so they're not listening to anything we're saying. So that's honestly a really, really good thing for us. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by the Inn at the Mill. When we need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, when we're traveling back and forth, we always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's located centrally, right in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off of I-49, and it has the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. You can reserve your stay at Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit inatthemill.com. They have that European-style breakfast over there. You can smell those fresh-baked cookies the minute that you get off the exit right there in Johnson. One of the best places to stay in all of Northwest Arkansas since 1992, the Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present. Big C, big things going on today, obviously, in the world of sports. We're going to start right here with baseball real quick, then we'll get into some Masters stuff, and then we'll go on about our day hog update. Dave Morning Rush Daily Question. We'll talk to Tom at 10 o'clock. We'll have the SEC update. Usual stuff here on the Morning Rush. But Big C, baseball, the name of the game today. Arkansas traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama in a weekend series. One of the big things that's going to be a little bit different for folks coming up this weekend watching the Razorbacks, or going down to Tuscaloosa to watch the Razorbacks pitching. It's going to be a little bit different. DVH had something to say about that after this week's midweek victory over UALR.
Had a little trouble throwing strike one. Then he did a good job after that. First 3 or 4 hitters was 1-0, and then he kind of went to work. Mm-hmm. It was really good to see. Kept the pitch count down, faced like 10 hitters, I think, and threw like 40 pitches. And everybody did a good job, and they're all still ready to roll for the weekend.
Still ready to roll for the weekend, but the question is, how does that starting rotation get shuffled up? Hunter Dietz now leading the SEC in strikeouts overall. Gabe Gackle was your Friday night guy, but he made a random midweek appearance this past week against UALR, coming out of the pen, Big C. So how do you think Dave Van Horn's going to handle the rotation being shuffled up a little bit? And will this spell positive things for the Razorbacks, or do you think we'll still continue to see some of the struggles that we're not used to as Razorback baseball fans?
Yeah, I've heard Cole Gibbler might be a starter, but let's be honest, this isn't a good spot to be in when you're like experimenting at this point, but hopefully they find the right formula before we get even closer to the end of the season, and hopefully they can find a working formula to win some of these series. And you don't want to get swept, but you definitely want to try to win some of these series. And on the road at Tuscaloosa, that's a tough place to play. But the bats you've got to have decent pitching. You've got to have good bats. And right now it's hard for them to put a full, complete game together. I like the way they played against UALR. The pitching looked really good. Yeah. UALR is not a pushover. A pushover, yeah. And so if they could win 2 at Alabama, that would just be incredible.
That'd be huge.
Yeah.
That'd be huge for Arkansas to go down to Tuscaloosa and take 2 away from the Crimson Tide. But kind of like you said, that formula that you're talking about, when you're pushing buttons and you're pulling strings this late in the season, it obviously doesn't spell disaster, in my opinion, but it does make people scratch their heads a little bit.
It's hard to be confident.
And baseball is a game all about confidence, right? You go up there and you don't hit 7 out of 10 times, you end up with a 300 batting average, and you're probably an All-American, or if you're in the MLB and you do that for your whole career, you're probably in the Hall of Fame up there in Cooperstown. So it's a game based on failure, and you have to really figure out a way to navigate that failure and still, have confidence up there every time you go on the plate, every time that toe meets the rubber up there when you're on the pitching mound. But one thing, Big C, that you kind of mentioned right there as well is obviously, not just pushing the buttons and those confidence, but taking 2 away would be really, really good. But it's really, really hard to win in the SEC, on the road especially. And one of the things that I kind of thought going into this season as the struggles sort of started to be laid out in front of Razorback baseball fans was, look, we've been incredibly spoiled. I mean, we're spoiled brats when it comes to pitching because we have had some of the best pitchers in college baseball the last handful of years since that recruiting really got an uptick after they had a less than stellar season in 2016. Blaine Knight, Isaiah Campbell, guys like Hagen Smith, Gage Wood, who threw a no-hitter last year in the College World Series. We've been really spoiled with having some stellar starting pitching. I mean, guys that are pitching right now in the minor leagues and on their way up. I know Peyton Paulette, who had his career here at Arkansas shortened with an injury, but he's now on the Guardians active roster in Major League Baseball right now. So pitching has been a really, really big strength of the Razorbacks for a long time. And so when it kind of filters down to more of a pedestrian level, it's kind of hard to stomach. It's kind of hard to watch. And so I think that DVH has been really solid his entire career here, pulling those strings and being that puppet master in a way. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how he shakes things up with the pitching rotation, because I don't know how many starting pitchers he actually has left over there that can really give you all those innings that you need from a starting pitcher and navigate around a really solid lineup with the Crimson Tide.
I think about just my personal experiences playing baseball up until high school. You felt more confident when you knew who was going to pitch and you felt like they were going to give you a good chance to win. And my point is the mental aspect of baseball is so huge. And really what you want is like that first game, you want to have confidence that you're going to win that. You want a good pitching performance to kind of set the tone for the rest of the weekend. If you get blown out in that first game, you're kind of in scramble mode there. And you mentioned Peyton Paulette. Yeah, he's a really good player. And I funny story, my dad, I think, met his parents one time, and he was telling them, it was before his injury, he's like, he's going to be a really good pitcher. And he didn't turn out to be that for Arkansas because he was injured, but it's really awesome to see that his career has brought him to this point, and he's making a start in the major league.
And, injuries, they really can't deter pitchers these days. They've got so many different surgeries and types of things that they can do. I remember the quote from Tommy John. Tommy said he got that surgery, and then he asked for the Koufax fastball, but they gave him Mrs. Koufax fastball instead. Obviously, when it comes to pitching and those injuries and things like that, it is a difficult thing to navigate through. But we've seen it here at Arkansas this year with a guy that's navigated an injury on the pitching staff that's now, like I said, leading the SEC in strikeouts with Hunter Dietz. He had that injury. I think he started, then he was able to come back, and he got hit with a resistance band in the eye, right in the eye socket too. So had to come back and navigate from that as well. And we've seen him be really stellar on the bump so far this year for the Razorbacks. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by APAC and Standard Materials Group. APAC and Standard Materials Group. If you're looking for a turnkey solution for your construction project, whatever it may be, APAC and Standard Materials Group in Northwest Arkansas is Northwest Arkansas's #1 provider of aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. If you need more than just materials, APAC can help you with surveying, engineering, construction. They have drone capabilities too, so they can fly over the top of your construction site and make sure everything looks ship-shape over there. Trucking and logistics as well. It's all under one roof at APAC and Standard Materials Group. Call 479-587-3300 today to get started. That's APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. Well, the big news in the sporting world this week, Big C, it's Masters Week. I'm not a big golf guy. I know you're not either. I didn't grow up on a country club. And I don't have all the free time in the world to take sales calls while I'm really playing 18, like the two folks that typically rock the mics in the morning from 9 to 11. But I do enjoy golf, getting out there and playing it. And obviously, one of the things that I do every year whenever the Masters is on TV is I do make time to sit down and watch some of that because the production and everything out there at the Masters is just pristine and beautiful. And you love to watch that on your television screen. So we'll start right there on our opening drive. It's Masters Week.
It's time for the opening drive.
Today is the day. The work begins. The dreaming stops, even though it never really does. Yesterday was about smiles. Today, more furrowed brows. This beautiful, peaceful course seemingly in conflict with the roiling intensity that each man now brings to it. Today, for the 90th time, the flag drops on the race of a lifetime. The idea? Keep pace. Don't get left behind. If not, you'd like to think there'll be more chances. But are you certain of that? How could you be? Today's the day. It is Thursday at the Masters.
Today is the day. It is Thursday at the Masters. We'll give you an update right here on the scoreboard, on the leaderboard. Right now, Jose Maria Olazabal is tied for the first place lead along with American Sam Burns. Jose is from Spain. They're both at 2 under right now, but Burns has only played 3 holes at the moment. Jose Maria Olazabal as through 7. They're
Is this
both
when they're trying to make
under.
the cut?
Yeah, so we're trying to make the cut today in round 1. And like I talked about this a little bit earlier with you, Big C, but the fairway conditions and the conditions today over there at Augusta is probably going to call for a little bit more lower scores. And I know that I heard Bart talking about this morning, but the greens are going to be super firm, which means that ball will be rolling all over the place over there, and it is going to be super windy as well. So these excellent golf players and their very knowledgeable caddies will have to have that in the back of their mind as they take every single stroke. But the Masters, man, it's always so fun to watch because the production value and everything about the Masters, it just gives off this air of classiness, this air of this pristine golf course that they have. That is until we see people like Kevin Hart out there at the Masters.
The moment. Don't worry about it. And you only get one shot at it.
I don't need more than one, Bryson. That's all I need.
All right.
Okay?
Good.
I was built for this.
Built for this, says Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's out there, Pat McAfee as well, a lot of the ESPN crew, Jason Kelsey as well. I'll be honest with you guys, I've got Kelsey fatigue. I really, really, truly, and honestly do. I think that those guys, Jason and Travis, do your podcast. It's very entertaining. They have good guests on there all the time. His wife, Kylie Kelsey, has a very popular podcast as well. But do they really need to see Jason Kelsey at the Masters? Do we really need to see him out there in the
No.
caddy suit doing all that stuff? Does that really make the television experience of watching the Masters better? To me, absolutely not. I like Jason Kelsey. I think he's very entertaining. But one of the things that Jason Kelsey should be doing is talking about football year
Right.
round. And I think that that's one thing that ESPN has really fallen off the course with. They've got these awesome, huge personalities, and they just stick them everywhere all the time, especially in places where they're not needed, like McAfee and everybody up there at the Masters. It doesn't really lend itself to that type of behavior, if you will. And I like McAfee. I think he does a fantastic job on College Game Day during the fall. I think he's very entertaining. But, that sort of locker room talk and that type of vibe really is not what
It's not Masters.
It's
no.
not Masters, and it's almost like the Masters has sort of become like a parody of itself whenever they kind of use, all these these gimmicks in that way. And there was a huge uproar this past I guess it was yesterday when someone made an AI picture of Jason Kelsey and Pat McAfee and hated comedian Bert Kreischer jumping into the pond over there at Augusta. I think it said on Amen Corner. There were probably 400 replies that I saw to that original tweet, basically just ripping into Augusta and the
They're trying to
Masters.
appeal. You think they're just trying to appeal to like my generation or even younger, just like maybe who didn't grow up
Mhm.
like heavily on the Masters, because it's kind of evolved a little bit into like I know people my age are more in tune more in tune to it than they were before, but. Yeah, you mentioned all the kind of shenanigans. When I think of Kevin Hart, man, I went to a concert in Dallas, or I guess it's not a concert, it's a show of his, and you talk about just expletive after expletive. It's funny, but it's like, yeah, when you think of Kevin Hart and some of those guys, you don't really think Masters along with it, but it provides a little bit of an entertainment value.
I still remember some of the Kevin Hart bits from his first big special. See, I got a checkings and a savings, and I got a savings, and that was always really, really funny. But I think that you're right, Big C. There is kind of a resurgence of golf happening right now. If you remember during COVID, the big lockdown, golf courses were one of the first places to kind of be open and get people back out into the community, doing things actively. And popularity of golf just absolutely skyrocketed after that. So, and that was with our demographic, Big C, that kind of early 20s, teenagers into early 30s. It's really, really taken off there. And so obviously, yes, the pundits of our generation are people like Pat McAfee. Yeah. And I mean, Vern and Jim Nance, those guys are probably, I don't know if Vern's still doing any coverage, but Jim Nance is still be there. He'll be there until they have to, wheel him out in the wheelchair to do it. But I mean, Jim Nance loves all that stuff. So you still have him there. You still have the reports from the great, from all the greats over there at the Masters. You still get Fred Ridley up there giving press conferences every day. So there is still some air about it, but I wonder if they're turning folks off because of, this type of, these shenanigans that they have going on over there. It's very interesting to see. I don't imagine that the golf takes, a step down because of that in any way. I imagine it'll still be just as impactful and just as entertaining to watch. But the Masters starts today, and we'll give you updates on that throughout the day. There's some favorites that I have as well, but like I said, I am not a golf expert. I've played maybe 2 rounds in the past 3 years, so I don't know too much about it. But obviously, I would say that Scotty Scheffler, who's probably going to be up there as well, and then Xander Schauffele. Yeah, he's also one of the favorites to win it. Aberg as well, Ludwig Aberg, and there will be some other ones that are probably be in the mix. Justin Rose, who was in tight contention last year with Rory McIlroy as well before Rory had that storybook finished. I saw somebody, I saw where he commissioned to do like a pencil drawing of him over there sinking that putt and his reaction afterwards on 18 to win the Masters. He commissioned somebody to do a pencil drawing.
And it was a good one.
It looked just like a photograph, which at that point I kind of thought to myself, why wouldn't you just get a photograph? It honestly looks the exact same, but the guy drew for 700 hours to get that done. 700
How much do you think it's worth?
hours. Probably worth a lot, especially because it's probably signed and everything like that by the artiste, and probably worth quite a pretty penny. Hey, if you want to get in here this morning and talk to us, text us, call us, you can. The phone number is 877-377-6963. That's the phone number to get with us here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and that was your opening drive. It's brought to you this morning by Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app, and for those who like to make a little wager on their favorite sporting event, like the Masters right now, Bet Saracen is as close as your cell phone, which is probably in your hands, or in my case, in my pocket, right this very second. If you follow the odds, favorites, and the underdogs, Bet Saracen is where you want to be, and you can realize that Vegas odds are one thing, but you have to be there legally to bet them. And Arkansas law prevents all those. And Arkansas law has now made some things easier for you. But for the most accurate and up-to-date sports wagering info, you need to be on the Bet Saracen app. It's very simple. Go to the App Store, download Bet Saracen, or go to betsaracen.com, and be sure to check out the really cool video of how to play featuring Jancy Sheets. You get a welcome bonus as well. When you use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25 and place a $25 bet. And once that settles, you get $125 in free bets over at Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is the most popular sportsbook app in this state. So Masters tournament happening right now. Like I said, we'll give you sporadic updates on that throughout the day. We'll also talk a little bit about Arkansas basketball as well. Some news about some people that are being retained from the roster right now. It is not Malik, other Malik, or Billy Richmond. We still haven't heard anything about their status for next year. But some of the other pieces on the roster that we didn't get to see at all last year, and one that is probably a hometown favorite here for the Razorbacks, likely going to stay put. We'll cover more of that in your Hog Update coming up here in just a second, as well as the NCAA proposing major changes to eligibility rules, including age limits. We'll get into this a little bit later in the hour here as well. The concept of NCAA athletes would have 5 full years and at the time of their 19th birthday or their high school graduation. So age limits and things as well, probably trying to prevent some of these 23-year-old freshmen from Lithuania coming over that have played 5 years of pro ball in Bosnia and Herzegovina, that have a lot more experience playing high-level basketball than some of these guys, trying to weed some of that out as well. We'll get into that, your thoughts and opinions on that as well. And CBS and TNT Sports also delivered the most-watched NCAA basketball championship in 7 years.
That's
so,
a little shocking.
It is shocking to me as well. But I know that Michigan and UConn, they've got really big, rabid basketball fan bases as well. So I figured that there wasn't anything else to watch on TV that night, and there was plenty of good action happening in the national championship game. But despite the fact that transfer portal is ruining college basketball, people are watching it more so now than they ever have before. All right, we'll wrap it up here for this first segment. Be back in just a second for your Hog Update coming up here on the Morning Rush. Got to talk a little bit about coach from the Arkansas Razorback basketball team. He is leaving officially for University of North Carolina. We'll talk about that, Chuck Martin, as well as this baseball series coming up, and a little bit more here on the Morning Rush. Should be a big day. Should be a fun day, Big C.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And you mentioned, when I think of Arkansas basketball, I think of Coach Cal.
Yeah.
And as long as he is the head coach, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, I imagine the recruiting won't have too much of a drop-off because an assistant coach left, no matter if he's the recruiting coordinator or not. We'll talk more about that in your Hog Update coming up here on the Morning Rush. Stay tuned. Back in just a minute.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're holding that microphone kind of loose. You might want to hold on that microphone a little bit harder.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action, comfort.
Hey, it's Phil Elson for Bath Makeover. Now seeking skilled craftsmen. Bath Makeover is hiring the natural state's best plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to keep up with high demand. If you're ready for steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas wants to talk to you. Bath Makeover's commercial division is growing as well, installing over 100 bathrooms a month, knocking out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for experienced, qualified, skilled craftsmen to join their talented team. To learn more about job opportunities, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers. Visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
Hey, this is former Razorback Jalen Williams, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to road-ready certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
New head football coach Ryan Silverfield and the Hogs return to Razorback Stadium on Saturday, April 25th for the 2026 Razorback Foundation Spring Kickoff powered by the Link U. Get your first look at Coach Silverfield's Hogs for the free event that features a pregame concert by multi-platinum country music star and Poyen, Arkansas native Justin Moore, autograph session, and spring football action. For more information or to claim your free ticket, visit us at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at AAABM.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Come on, Pig.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open. It's Charles. Loose. He scores. Starts, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
Without a part of the fielder's choice as he crushes this one into deep left center field, and that one will be gone. His first home run of the campaign puts Asheville back on top. And what has been an offensive game, it's 8-6 Tourist.
Asheville Tourists center fielder Justin Thomas notched his first minor league home run yesterday. Man, the Razorbacks sure could use a good, solid leadoff hitter and a solid outfield player like Justin Thomas on their roster again this past year. But the Razorbacks are headed to Tuscaloosa to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Arkansas is 5-7 in the SEC and looking to climb a little bit back up closer towards 500 overall in conference play. We'll talk a little bit more about the baseball team as well in just a minute. Also happening right now, big news out of Arkansas in the basketball program. Arkansas's assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, Chuck Martin, is finalizing a contract to be the associate head coach at North Carolina under Michael Malone. Martin, who worked with Malone for many years ago at Manhattan, was instrumental in back-to-back top 5 recruiting classes for the Razorbacks. Christian, I'll give you all the money in my wallet right now if you can tell me the mascot for Manhattan University.
Oh, man.
Would it help you if I told you it's a town in Arkansas?
Oh, is it the Miners?
No, that's a good guess, though. It's the Manhattan Jaspers, whatever the heck a Jasper is. Yeah, I'm not even exactly sure. Probably something to do with shipping or something, or Navy. I don't really know. But Chuck Martin obviously worked with Michael Malone back there, and now they are reuniting in Chapel Hill as well. So you could potentially see maybe DJ Wagner, maybe Carter Knox in Tar Heel Blue next season. That would be very, very interesting to see either one of those two maybe make the trek over there to North Carolina as well. Also, in other news now, spring football has officially begun, and they're underway now. They've been underway for a little over a couple weeks. Had the Easter break and a little bit of time after spring break as well. But SEC football kickoff media days is also coming up in July. Talking season is officially about to start here in just a couple of months in July. And Ryan Silverfield taking the stage on Thursday, July 23rd, for his first time as the Razorback head football coach. He'll be joined that day by Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, and Jeff Lebby from LSU, Texas, and Mississippi State, respectively. So we'll get to hear from Ryan Silverfield for an extended period of time coming up in July as well. I know Ty and Tommy are excited to get down to Tampa to play lots and lots of golf and do very little work down there, I'm very sure. Also on deck is Brew Pig Suey happening at Baum here in just a couple of weeks as well. You can grab a cold one at our first of 2 Brew Pig Suey Beer Festival events happening this spring. 25 breweries, 2 hours of sampling and food trucks await on Saturday, April the 18th, all for just $30. So lots of stuff happening around the Razorbacks and up there on the hill. And that's going to be your Hog Update here this morning. It's brought to you by our good friends at Mock Legal Solutions. They've opened a second location over there in Salisaw across from the courthouse to better serve Sequoia and LaFleur counties. Not only do they handle all family law, but Jackie has 13 years in car wrecks, slips and falls, dog bite cases. So let her help you get an insurance check or a wreck check. And they also understand that times are hard right now, and not most of us working class people who can't afford to pony up like $5,000 for a retainer and then get asked for more money down the road. So they offer these awesome flat fees, low down payments. They have really great flexible payment plans, and the laws have changed regarding joint custody as well. It's not the default, and they're not afraid to go to trial, and they're very successful when they do. You can learn more about Mock Legal Solutions at www.mocklegalsolutions.com. Christian, you talked about this earlier, but Chuck Martin leaving for UNC. Don't imagine that the Arkansas Razorbacks take a massive dip in recruiting after this. I know that Chuck Martin was instrumental in getting that class fully together and having conversations with a lot of the great players that we've seen come in here. But you have to imagine that the allure of playing here at Calipari University essentially is a little bit bigger than what an assistant coach may have to say.
It's kind of like, you know, Cal, when he goes out and gets a 5-star, he can go out and get another 5-star coach. I don't know what he's thinking there, but I just feel like you said, I mean, who would not want to coach under John Calipari?
Yeah.
I think that's an intriguing position right now.
Be very, very interesting to see who Coach Cal brings in to kind of shore up that coaching staff a little bit as well, or maybe they'll just promote from within, and we'll see.
They could.
We'll see Brad Calipari move one seat up on the bench as well, and his turtleneck will be a little bit more visible on television. That should be fun to watch for the Razorback basketball team next year. But stuff like Chuck Martin leaving, stuff like there being a little bit of uncertainty about who may come in next year I'm not too worried about the Razorback basketball team. I imagine they'll be there in that second weekend again. One update that I read this morning from the Best of Arkansas Sports: 7'1" center Paulo Semedo, who actually did not log any playing time last year, and Isaiah Seeley are both expected to return to next year's roster as well. So you have to like the fact that Seeley's coming back. The Springdale native, 6'7". He's also put on almost 20 pounds of muscle. So from time he arrived on campus till now. So getting a little bit bigger, getting a little bit stronger doesn't mean it's going to be easy for him, because there's a lot of good wing players coming in as well, Christian.
I think all he needs is more playing time. Obviously, last year it was hard to find playing time. But this year, I think you've got enough new guys that he would work well kind of in this system. And just him playing more, like Cal even said it, the guy hasn't played that much. You're gonna know who he is, I think, a lot more just by watching what he's capable of out there on the court. I think it's going to be a process. I don't think he's going to come out, firing on all cylinders, but I think it'll be cool to see his growth throughout the season. And I think by the end of next year, he could be one of those key pieces. You mentioned like just the defense. Having good guard defense is important as well. And I think he's long and rangy, and he can cut off passing lanes, and on a fast break, he's a dunk threat as well.
Absolutely. Hey, you can listen to us all day long on the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something saucy, crunchy, or cheesy, Taco Bell has you covered.
That was the funnest statements I've ever heard in my life. It's my coffee out. It was a great bit. It was comedy gold.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Hey, it's Phil Elson for Bath Makeover of Arkansas, now seeking skilled craftsmen. Bath Makeover is hiring the natural state's best plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to keep up with high demand. If you're ready for steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas wants to talk to you. Bath Makeover's commercial division is growing as well, installing over 100 bathrooms a month, knocking out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for experienced, qualified, skilled craftsmen to join their talented team. To learn more about job opportunities, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers. Visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
We're going to have to take some licking and keep on ticking.
This is The Morning Rush.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure. But the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner. Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure. But the inside of a Crunchwrap Slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap Slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap Slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar.
Online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, one of the things that we do here typically on the Morning Rush is we always go through the National Day calendar and find, whatever national day is being celebrated today just to have an extra talking point. And a couple of them caught my eye today. Chuck and Bo mentioned it this morning, the National Name Yourself Day. Christian, you go by a lot of nicknames. Do you like all of them? Be honest.
Yeah, I don't dislike them. I feel like there's a name out there for me that fits, and I just don't know what it is yet.
Well, I typically just call you Christian. Or
yeah,
or
I answer to my name too. I have no problems with that.
But your Morning Rush Daily question it revolves around this. Today is National Cherish an Antique Day. That's right, Cherish an Antique Day. So my question is for all of you listeners out there listening to us on the Morning Rush, and call us, text us in your answers here. Take a picture of it if you have to. 877-377-6963. What is your most cherished antiquity, your most prized possession? It has to be pretty much vintage, something a little bit older, something that maybe was passed down to you, something that's kind of maybe out of fashion, out of style, not used anymore, but you still have a real affinity for and you will never get rid of, no matter how many times your wife tells you to throw it out, no matter how much space it may take up, no matter how much oil it may leak. So whatever it may be, a hat, a book, a car, a weapon, whatever it may be, what is your most cherished antique? Big C, you have one?
It's sad that I don't have one right now, but I used to have, when I was a kid, I had this pillow.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a tattered pillow, nothing special about it, but I loved it. And I took care of that thing for a long time. And I don't know where it is now, but that's, when you're a kid, you kind of cling on to things, something that's special. And as a kid, I did have a pillow that I was a big fan of. And it just, over the years you grow up and you don't care about that stuff anymore. But I vividly remember this pillow, and if I saw it right, if it was right in front of me, I'd be able to see it. recognize it, but I just don't. I don't know where it is.
Very interesting. Did you also have a blankie as well?
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
I
just
did
talked
not.
about a
I
pillow.
actually did
That's
have.
what I thought.
I had a pillow, and I wanted that pillow with me wherever I went.
I had one. I had a small blanket that I used as a toddler, as a kid too, that I called affectionately a night. That my mother still has, and it is tattered in pieces. It's just basically like 4 or 5 threads held together right now. But I'm sure it's as soft now as it was back then as well. Some text coming in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You can text in as well. Send pictures. I want to see this antique stuff that you have laying around your house or in your garage or wherever it may be. 877-377-6963. Dr. Tyler, excuse me, in Fayetteville, who I don't think is actually a real doctor, but we appreciate his input anyway. Has a book of songs sung by Civil War soldiers that is copywritten from 1861. Dr. Tyler, that is pretty cool. 1861, that's like, what, 160 years old? Almost. That is insane. More than 160 years old. There's some quick math for you here on the Morning Rush. 165, I do believe that my arithmetic is correct, but that is neat. Civil War soldier songs. That's pretty cool as well. B.E. in Clarksville also texting in here on the Morning Rush hotline as well. He has a license plate of off of his grandfather's car that he loves very dearly. It's an Arkansas plate, and it's a Pearl Harbor Survivor Edition.
Wow.
That is really cool. It has a license plate on there. I won't give the full license plate, but it does say PHS on there, which I guess stands for Pearl Harbor Survivor. Very, very, very cool. One of my most cherished antiques is a hat that was given to me. I'm a big hat guy, always have been. I wear a hat literally every single day because I have terrible hair. It's full of split ends, and there may be some cause and effect between those two things. But it's a hat. It was given to me by my grandfather, my granddaddy, as I call him, as part of our Christmas tradition, which is where you get something old and something new. And I obviously always prefer something old, but it's one of those mesh back trucker caps. It is probably made sometime in the early 1950s, and it is from Crosset Paper. Down there in Crosset, Arkansas, near your neck of the woods, Christian. That's where my family originates from, down there. And it says it's a Crosset paper hat. It's bright red with big yellow letters on there. And on the bottom, it says 4 million safe hours, which I guess that means they had 4 million hours logged between all their employees without anybody, getting their hand caught in the paper mill or, falling into that stuff or anything like that. But that's always one of my prized possessions, is any hat that I'm given down by my grandfather. So what is your most prized possession? What antique do you cherish the most here on National Cherish an Antique Day? Call us, text us, 877-377-6963. Josh in Compton, Arkansas, he also says, I have a journal of the U.S. Navy, of a U.S. Navy captain from the early 1800s. The famous pirate Jean Lafitte, I guess that's what it is. You may have to tell me how to pronounce that, Josh. The famous pirate Jean Lafitte raided our family's farm on the Louisiana coast, and this captain details how he chased down the pirate, caught them, and hung them. Wow. Some justice right there for Josh in Compton, Arkansas, and his family down there. That's pretty cool as well. So we'd love to hear, as we go throughout the morning, what is your most cherished antique, something that's been passed down to you, something that you put a lot of value in that maybe somebody else may not. Whatever it may be, a book, a vehicle, a piece of clothing, a car, a weapon, an automobile. I mean, whatever it may be, we'd love to hear about your most cherished antique. Kristen, are you a big thrifting guy? You ever go out to like Goodwill or like Savers or get any like vintage clothing or anything like that?
No, I have been in those stores. My wife has a wild hair every now and then. She wants to go see what's out there, but no. But it is interesting to go to those stores and just see some of these items, what they have. You might get a great deal on it. And it is cool to go in those stores and just look around.
I do like to go to some flea markets and some antique shops, and there's tons of them here in the Fort Smith area. But when I was younger, when I was in college, I loved to go and look to find clothes, to have a little bit of drip, some fashion sense, so people couldn't tell me that I dressed bad. As I've gotten older, I found myself gravitating towards the front of the store, which is typically where they keep all of like those little glass figurines and various knickknacks.
I do like Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars, that was one of my favorite shows growing up because this guy would bring in like the Ark of the Covenant, and Rick Harrison would be like, I can give you $50. That's the best I can do.
He's a lowballer.
I always loved that show. And all the cast of characters they had on there, Chumley and Rick and Grandpa, those were always Very, very funny. And he always had a guy for whatever it may be. Just like the most obscure thing possible. Like, hey, I have a vintage dress worn by somebody from the 1700s. And the guy would be like, let me bring in my colonial dress expert. And somebody would come in and give you the full history of what this colonial dress would be.
I'm sure he tells them all to lowball.
Like the girl would say that it's like completely like it's like the most valuable thing she's ever seen. And Rick would say, best I can do is $100 for it. So that's good. That's a good reference here this morning when we're talking about antiques. National Cherish an Antique Day, that is today, as well as National Name Yourself Day. So maybe if you have a good or a funny nickname, you can text that in here as well on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. But that is your Cart Path Social Morning Rush Daily Question. It's brought to you by our good friends over there at Cart Path Social. What a great time to be over at Cart Path Social this week to watch the Masters. That would be one of the best places possible to do it. It's NWA's #1 destination for indoor golf. They have over 10 TVs, a perfect place to watch the Masters going on right now, Hog Baseball as well this weekend. They've got a new spring league that starts up here very soon as well. It is BYOB always, but they do have basic snacks and beverages available for sale. You can bring your own food, beer, and seltzers. They also are really big at hosting massive corporate events as well. You can have all of your team members come over to golf, socialize. You can host meetings there, have birthdays, retirement parties, whatever it may be. You can do it all at Cart Path Social. And 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Call them at 479-487-3622. You can give them a call or book online to secure a reservation today over at Cart Path Social. We'll also give you a little quick update here since we're talking about golf on the Masters as we speak. Patrick Reed has moved ahead. He is the leader right now. He is 3 under through 2 holes, so he got himself a nice little double birdie on one of those early holes as well. And Jose Maria Olazabal, I believe I pronounced that wrong earlier. My dad texted me to make sure that I got that right. Olazabal, I believe is how you say it. He's still at 2 under as well. He's notched up with Kurt Kitayama, Sam Burns, Shane Lowry, and one of my favorite golfers, Tommy Fleetwood. That's always how they say it. Tommy Fleetwood as well. And Max Homa also at 1 under. He is through 10 holes currently this morning. So some of these familiar faces now moving their way up the leaderboard. Xander Schauffele also at 1 under. Akshay Bhatia, my absolute favorite golfer because he's built just like me. Dustin Johnson as well, also at 1 under. And we'll get some more of these guys coming out in just a minute. Colin Morikawa, Rory McIlroy, Hideki Matsuyama, Cameron Smith, Jason Day, Bryson DeChambeau, Cam Young. All of these guys have already teed off as well. There'll be some other heavy hitters that are teeing off a little bit later today. Bubba Watson, he's at +3 right now. But he can still probably find his way back into the cut. But that's your Masters update right there, since we were talking about Cart Path Social. Big C, any desire to ever go to Augusta and see that place in person?
I do think that would be really cool because, you know, you see it on TV, you hear about the mystique of it, and just all the people that have been there and made that such a great event. I would like to go and check it out. I mean, I'm sure they have just top of the line stuff there. I mean, it's heaven for golfers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned earlier today, you know, Tommy, he got the invite from his brother to go down there and actually, or brother, or I forget who it was, one of his family members to go down there and actually watch. But that's why he's not here this morning. He's not actually at Augusta where he should be, but he is in charge of a very important sales and staff meeting. I think he said it was a staff meeting, Big C, which
he did.
Are you and I not a part of the staff?
That's a good point.
Maybe it's about me and you getting a raise. That's probably what it is.
Or firing us.
Or fired, one or the other, depending on how the rest.
Firing me at least.
Depending on how the rest of this show goes, I'm sure that's exactly what it's about. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by our good friends at Burton Pools and Spas. You can save on Doughboy Pools right now, up to $12.50 off above ground pools and semi-in-ground pools, starting at $17,999. Doughboy Pools are the most durable with the best warranty, and they're made right here in the U.S. of A. Hot Springs is the #1 selling hot tub brand, starting at $59 a month, and Burton can make your backyard the go-to spot for family fun. It'd be great to get yourself a hot tub this summer to cool off in and to warm up in whenever you need to during the winter. You can get $13,000 off the Bermuda 14 by 30 fiberglass pool with premium crystal finish. Plunge pool starting at under $40,000. Give your family and friends the summer they will never forget. Limited spots are available, so hurry in for these exclusive anniversary sale savings happening right now at all Burton Pools and Spas location in Fort Smith, Greenland, Springdale, and Hot Springs. It's Burton Pools and Spas. Water for a better life. BurtonPools.com. Big C, we've made it through the first hour. The
We did.
transmitter's still on. Nobody's texted us. Nobody's pounding at the door and telling us that we need to be taken off the air. I'm pretty proud of us so far, to be honest with you.
You're doing great, Colton. And I'm trying to hold it together.
We got some more text here coming in on the Lewis Automotive hotline as well. Doug from Fort Smith has his grandfather's Congressional Medal of Honor and his Colonel stars as well. And in Gavin in Fayetteville, his most prized possession is a basketball. He was born in '94, the year they won the championship, and his grandpa worked at the housing department, and he was able to get a signed a practice ball from Coach Richardson. They got the entire team to sign it. That one is one that I would have encased right above my mantle. So that's pretty cool, right up there for Gavin as well. Hey, we'll be back in just a minute here on the Morning Rush. Tom Murphy on the other side of this. We'll talk to him about spring football, Arkansas baseball, and we'll ask him if he has any prized antiquities as well. So stay tuned. More of this coming back in just a minute here on the Morning Rush.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Tired of paying high box store prices for your building materials? Integrity Outlets Auction Company is having a huge public building materials auction on Saturday, April the 11th, starting at 10 a.m. Join us at 235 Homestyle Drive, Berryville, Arkansas. We're selling lumber, cabinets, appliances, flooring, windows, and much more to the highest bidder. Contractors, flippers, and homeowners, don't miss this. Visit our Facebook page at Integrity Outlets Auctions for complete details.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hotling, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
It's Kubota Orange Day sales event at Gray Brothers in Fort Smith and Poto. Whenever you're ready, we're ready with Kubota equipment in stock. Hay equipment to zero-turn mowers and Kubota tractors. From the small subcompact DX up to the large Kubota M7 cab tractor and everything in between. Why wait? When at Gray Brothers, it's in stock and on sale. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a limit.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunshine today. A high this afternoon will be into the upper 70s, mainly a clear sky, mid to upper 50s overnight. Friday, we could see a few scattered showers or storms across the north. Otherwise, sunny skies and a high right around 80. Slight chance of showers or storms Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3.
ERX Paris Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
You could drink beer.
The superior light beer for the social athlete.
Morning light breaking through the sky. Tommy and Ty got that crazy drive. Tune in now, don't be shy. Morning Rush gonna make you feel alive. Wake up, it's time to go. Tommy and Ty, they steal the show. ESPN Arkansas, feel the flow. Morning Rush, Morning Glow. Sports talk hit the ground running. Life's and news always done. Game day vibes got you humming. Catch the beat, it's truly coming. Wake up, it's time to go. Tommy and Ty, they steal the show. ESPN Arkansas, feel the flow. Morning Rush, Morning Glow.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studio.
Produced by Colton Little. This is the Morning Rush.
It sure is, or some version of it, because Ty and Tommy aren't here. They're inundated right now with an important staff meeting where they are just pondering how much extra money to give us, Christian, me and you. They're trying to figure out how much is too much and how much is not enough. And I promise you, it's not enough.
Takes the whole company
That's
to figure that out.
They got to put all their brains together to get that figured out here this morning. Welcome back to the Morning Rush. Myself, Colton Little, Christian Johnson in here filling in for Ty and Tommy this morning. They got actually important business to do. They're not on the golf course, but they are making sure that everything runs here in tip-top shape as it typically does, somewhere within 50% of the time. We're brought to you this morning by our friends at Modular Orange. Your website is a utility, and you have to have it. Let Modular Orange help you get it out there and keep it updated so you don't have to worry about it. Modular Orange websites are written, designed, launched, hosted, secured, and kept up to date for $95 a month. No upfront cost or additional fees. You focus on building your business and let the Modular Orange team focus on building your website. Modular Orange keeps it fast and easy. The streamlined process helps you get your website out into the world without you having to think about it over months and months and months. And if you're using Facebook as your website for your business, just stop. Control your own site and don't let Facebook control it. Modular Orange sites ensure that your customers can reach you no matter what device they are using to check out your site. Their websites work on all phones, laptops, and notebooks. If you already have a website but are paying high monthly prices, stop throwing money away. Let Modular Orange build your website for you on the Modular Orange platform for only $95 a month with that means zero, zilch, upfront cost. You'll save money and get a website that performs better. Visit modularorange.com or call 479-755-3043 today for Modular Orange for all of your business website needs. 10 a.m. here on the Morning Rush, getting into everything going on right now. We got Masters Week happening, like we talked about earlier, spring football, Arkansas on the road to take on the Crimson Tide in a baseball series this weekend, basketball transfer portal as well. So much stuff that I have very little idea about, and thank God we have Tom Murphy here with us who knows a lot about everything, and he can help us out. Tom, good morning. I appreciate you stepping in here like you always do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, even though it's not your typical cast of characters. How are you doing on this beautiful spring morning today?
I couldn't be doing better, and you guys are too kind. And also, that was a pretty cool personalized country bop that led into this segment. I like that. That's the first I'd heard of it.
You like that one, Tom? Hey, if you want, I can make a theme song for you every time you come on. We can get that worked out as well. It's the Morning Rush house band. But Tom Murphy is with us here. You can read his stuff on Whole Hog Sports and in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, we'll get right into spring football real quick, then we'll touch on some basketball stuff and some baseball stuff as well. Tom, you talked earlier this week a little bit about the defensive line and some of the overhaul that they've had with Hunter Osborne coming in, obviously retaining Quincy Rhodes over there on the edge, and some of the other guys they've gotten through the portal, Danny Beal as well. You talked about how they have a little bit of depth up there on the defensive line, but one thing that I haven't heard too much about right now is how does the back end of that defense look? So what can you tell us about how the defensive backs have looked so far through spring practice, and can you also share that same sentiment that you shared on Tuesday about how there may be a little bit more depth in the defensive back room?
Well, yeah, I can do that. Man, you threw me a curveball. I was getting geared up to talk about the D-line and all, and then you go to the secondary.
I apologize.
But no, but you know what? We're adaptable.
That's right.
And here's the thing. There are so many position groups on this team that just had to be upgraded in personnel. And when you're talking about that you've overhauled your defensive backfield to the point that Miguel Mitchell, a safety, who was in the portal, by the way, came back, is the only returning scholarship guy. I mean, their cornerbacks, they didn't hold up very well. It was, mostly new guys. And, you had the pick six in the Auburn game, and that was a big play. But it just didn't hold up well enough. And then Selman Bridges, who was a homegrown kid, 4-star, wound up really never getting on the field very much and then leaving. So, again, now you've got guys like Lakai Rowland from Maryland, the kid from Little Rock, Braden Lee, and then you got Jaheim Jones, the transfer from Tulane. So there's a whole lot of new cornerback guys who, they've got to find a way to be able to be better in man and get pressure on quarterbacks because they got eaten up last year. And then at safety, I just didn't feel like they had enough guys who could really cover. And, as much as I like the want to of their safeties, not a lot of forceful, hard-hitting tacklers. I mean, Wooden and Mitchell and I'm leaving somebody out that played most of the safety snap. Oh, Larry Worth. They just give them all they needed. So here we go again. New defensive coordinator now in Ron Roberts. Mitchell's back, and obviously he should be better, and he's helping a lot at helping the guys understand the schemes. But that's going to be still a huge question mark, much like the defensive front will be in this season.
Yeah, I've just from watching spring practice a little bit and looking at the pedigrees of some of these coaches offense being improved in terms of scoring, but that defense, like you said, there's still going to be lots of question marks over there. We'll stick with football for just a minute. Tom, yesterday we got to listen to Marcus Johnson and talk a little bit about the O-line as well. That's one thing that I've seen through reports in fall camp, that starting unit has stayed pretty much the same. Not really a complete and total overhaul on the offensive line. You still do have Kobe Branham and Caden Kittler as they're being retained from last year, but a couple of guys are coming into new spots as well. Fernando Carmona obviously went to the draft, and Marion Harris decided to transfer as well. So how's that offensive line looking so far through spring football? I know that they were trying to run Silverfield's favorite scoring play yesterday.
Yeah, they did, and Marcus Johnson was joined by Jeff Myers, so they're the two-man deal on the O-line, and they have help from another guy like I guess would be the old school GA or something. But there's so many players, there's so many coaches on the field. I was watching a drill yesterday, and this was, or 2 days ago, when they were putting in this play where Myers and Johnson were both there, and then the tight end coach Turner was watching it as well because the tight ends were involved in this, and Ryan Silverfield was there. Mm-hmm. And after every snap, there was personalized instruction for every guy who was just involved. I mean, we're talking about even the guys who are playing the, quote, defense. You know, hey, line up here, drop here, do this thing, give them a really good look to enforce this play. And I'm pretty sure it was a pass play, some kind of a screen or something where they throw to a back or swing play, and this is how they block it up. And so they didn't give us the name of the play, but obviously a play where it's part of the RPO system and the guard pulls. And they worked and worked to refine that. But I just thought it was interesting, and both coaches talked about it yesterday, Myers and Johnson, about how when you have that kind of personalized instructions and two coaches at the position, your snap counts can increase. Like they could double. Mm-hmm. And Johnson gave the example that Ohio State, they would get through the practice and they might have run some guys close to 250 reps in that, or sometimes you might have only gotten 100 if you're doing full line work and just with one coach. So there's value to that.
All right, Tom. Tom Murphy's our guest here this morning on the Morning Rush, as he always is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can read him in Whole Hog Sports and in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, we'll pivot real quick here appropriately to basketball. One of the big news coming out of the basketball field, out of the basketball locker room over there, Chuck Martin, the assistant head coach here at Arkansas, is leaving for the associate head coach role over at North Carolina. He has some experience in the past with Michael Malone when they were both at Manhattan eons ago, it seems like. But what does this spell for the Razorbacks? I know that Chuck Martin was the recruiting coordinator, but does Coach Callahan have anybody in mind that you've heard of to maybe fill in another spot there on the bench for them? Or what do you think about this whole situation about Chuck Martin leaving for UNC?
Well, Chuck Martin's a super personable guy. I mean, every time you come across him in the hallways and stuff, just smiling, hey, man, how you doing? Like, you could tell why he's done well in the business. It's a big loss. Cal has so many people he knows, and I don't have any insight into what direction they will go to fill that spot. There will be no shortage of, because it's a hot staff right now, and they've got recruiting money and so on and so forth. And you're working for a legend who's, a Hall of Fame coach. So, but important position, obviously, and I'm sure they'll have, the big-time opportunity to fill that with a good name. But, and good for Chuck. I think it'll. I hate to see him go because I really like the guy.
You think that he'll be bringing potentially Carter Knox or DJ Wagner over with him all the way to Chapel Hill?
I haven't speculated on that. I'm not sure. Obviously, what the NIL opportunities they would have would play a role in that, and it will be fascinating to see how Malone's style, because he's a pretty intense dude. I mean, and they were having really good success. And it was somewhat surprising when, he parted ways with the Nuggets. And so it'll be fun to watch how that plays out in North Carolina with Martin as a chief lieutenant for him.
Mm-hmm. I do know that North Carolina doesn't have anybody like Jokic on the roster, so it'll probably be a little bit different. He'll have to adjust over there in Chapel Hill for Michael Malone. Tom, one thing I also want to mention here, the Razorbacks are traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama in a very important SEC series right now. Coach DH talked after the midweek game about particularly, shaping some things up and shaking some things up with the pitching rotation. We saw a kind of a random midweek appearance out of the pen for Gabe Gackle. What do you think about maybe the pitching rotation being changed around a little bit, and could that mean good or potentially maybe some of the same for Razorback baseball?
Well, I think what it means is that he and Matt Hobbs are not afraid to make moves in season. I mean, he's done it throughout his career. And, Gackle, he was out of the pen exclusively as a freshman and had a freshman All-America season. And then had, I think it was 9 starts last year before the move. And here we are again, roughly about the same point. And his last 2 or 3 starts have not gone well. I don't know what it is. I mean, there's a lot of leadoff runners get on against him when he's a starting pitcher. He has performed better out of the pen. And so the inference is now, okay, we use him in this role against ULR, that's probably what will happen. I don't think it's guaranteed. I think what they'll probably do is run Hunter Dietz out there in game 1 against Alabama and then see what they have to do with the bullpen. Do you use Ethan McIlvain? Do you hold Cole Gibler back to potentially start? That's what they probably would like to do, but we don't know. They're not tipping their hand. And then as far as Colin Fisher goes, his last few Sundays haven't gone so well. So I think the whole situation might be up for grabs, other than we feel like Dietz will probably start. But, if he gives them a long appearance and they close with McIlvain or somebody, then they'll have a lot of arms available for games 2 and 3. But they've got to start scoring some runs too. I mean, this whole thing has got to kind of go hand in glove. Longer starts, better bullpen performances, and producing more runs, because the run production in SEC play has been the biggest struggle.
Yeah, and I've kind of talked about a little bit about this earlier this week. Ryder Helfrich, he also has the responsibility of having to call every single pitch as well. And we've seen some disagreements. He's had to go out there and, make some extra mound visits, more than we've seen in the past so far. I'm not exactly sure whether or not that's, pitcher shaking off what he's calling or not. But when you also have to call those pitches and you can't trust your pitcher, that leaking of confidence, that carries over to, when you're at the plate, not just when you're in the field. So I think you're right, Tom. They got to get some stuff figured out from a hitting standpoint as well, to make things a little bit easier on their pitchers too. It's kind of just how the nature of baseball goes. All right, Tom, today is also National Cherish an Antique Day. Tom, you've been around. You strike me as a guy that has a lot of cherished antiques. Do you have anything in your house that you've maybe kept onto for a long time that's been passed down to you through family members, or really any antique that you cherish more so than another, whether it be, of clothing, a weapon, furniture, vehicles, anything like that, Tom?
Wow, that's a great one. And my parents had a lot of stuff. Like, I've got some art. My dad was in the conflict in Southeast Asia and came back with some art that I've held on to. And I don't know if it's near and dear, but I enjoy it. And then I'm going to tell on myself a little bit here, but one of the quote heirlooms that I've gotten from the parents was a liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
And there's not any liquor in it right now. I've cut way back on that. But I don't know. I'm not super sentimental in that regard, but have a few things. And I'm not. It's nice to know that today's National Treasure and Antique Day.
That's right. National Cherish or Treasure and Antique Day. Tom, I appreciate you, stooping down to this level to have to do it with me and Christian this morning, but we always appreciate your time as we do every Tuesday and Thursday, man. We will hear from you next week after this series in Alabama, and maybe some more shakeup in the Arkansas Razorback basketball roster. We appreciate you this morning, Tom.
Hey, man, don't be so harsh on yourself. You do a great job, and I enjoy when you just talk about stuff you like and love, and you love and enjoy talking about. It works easy. So great job today. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate that. Tom is always great for us here on Tuesdays and Thursdays here. Christian, baseball. What kind of Tom was talking about right there? It's I don't know how to feel about it.
You got to have some guys start stepping up. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, it hasn't happened really yet. I mean, you've had Dietz go out there and kind of set the tone a little bit, and you hope the others eventually start following. Alabama on the road is going to be a tough place to do it, but hey, you might as well start it this week. I mean, you've got a a tough task. I've
Yeah.
been to a game at Alabama when Arkansas was in town, and it was a pretty good home crowd. I don't know what it would be like now, but they're Alabama's a tough team, and a lot of these teams that you used to could like say, well, we can go on the road and beat them. Nah, SEC as a whole has kind of evened out, especially this year. Like Arkansas, LSU teams like that, not quite the dominance you've seen in years past.
Yeah, you're right. There is kind of a not necessarily a huge shakeup, but I mean you're right. We were talking earlier this. I know everybody talked about it. Phil did. I know the guys on the afternoon did as well, and then the morning show that precedes us, we were kind of like wiping our brows and kind of a little bit upset at the same time because we weren't getting those marquee baseball matchups that we wanted, whether it be on the road or at Baum Walker. But like no LSU, no Tennessee. You also avoid Texas as well, so it's kind of like what's the whole point of even playing these games? And then you're right, Big C. Some of these non-traditional powers have really stepped up. Like, for example, Georgia, who's won a Division I baseball championship before. I believe it was back in the 90s or maybe the late 80s. But they're 10-2 right now in the conference, followed by Texas at 9-3, and Alabama, like you mentioned, having a good season. They're overall at 8-4 so far in the conference. So it's going to be a difficult test for the Razorbacks as they move on to play Alabama this weekend, and with the pitching rotation kind of being shaked up a little bit as well, it should be very interesting to see how things go. You'd really love to try and squeak out at least one win over there, and you would be thrilled to have two, and just elated to somehow pull a sweep from the Crimson Tide. We're brought to you this morning by our good friends over there at Pradco and the Booyah Mobster. The Booyah Bait Company is made right here in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and the hottest swimming jib on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob locally here in Arkansas and Oklahoma, and has been winning tournaments on Lake Dardanelle and Kerr Lake like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged or matted grass, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. They're available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma. It's the Booyah Mobster. My dad told me that I need to go out there and go fishing with him sometime soon, so I'm sure when we do, we'll tie on a Booyah Mobster and just catch him on every cast. Can't wait to do that here coming up in just a little bit. Hey, speaking about those treasured moments and things that you get to do. We talked about the National Cherish and Antique Day as well. There's some more things there's some more texts have come in here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can text them into or call us. We'd love to talk to somebody. 877-377-6963. JB from Springdale. This is kind of up our alley, Christian. My Super NES was the first thing that he bought and saved with his allowance money back in the day. That video game system. You ever played an NES?
Is that Nintendo?
I think so.
I don't know, but I've told you, Colton, I've played a Nintendo 64, which is that's an antique.
That is an antique now. It really is.
It really is. And I guess that should have been my answer, but right now I'm not even currently sure where it is. But I mean, I played that thing up until maybe the early 2000s, and it was fun. The RBI baseball game that they have.
I think I might have had a friend that had Blitz 96 on the 64, and that one was always really, really fun. Some text here also, a text out of the 501. I've got a St. Michael pendant that my grandpa wore with his dog tags as he sat in the tail gunner seat of a B-25 in World War II. And the picture of it is super, super cool. I remember now as well, one of my more, and speaking of one thing that Gavin mentioned earlier, Gavin in Fayetteville, he has that signed 1994 championship ball at his house. He's got it in a shadow box that sits in front of the center of his living room as well. I've got two things that are kind of similar to what the text from the 501 and Gavin had kind of mentioned here. So if you drive through Lincoln at any time, you can see the Colonel William L. Bush National Guard Readiness Center, I believe is the title of it. It's got those two big tanks out there. And Colonel William Landon Bush was my great-grandfather. He served in World War II, and he has like a real chest of all the different antiquities and things that he picked up off of soldiers that might or may not have been alive after he got them during World War II. And there are some really neat stuff in there, like a Chinese abacus that he got from somewhere in Japan, some German to English dictionaries and things like that, lots of weapons and stuff like that. So that's always one of those things that I don't personally have, but I have taken, I've asked my grandparents to let me hold on to a few of those for a while. And then Razorback memorabilia. When I worked at the Boys and Girls Club in Russellville, it's the Corliss Williamson Boys and Girls Club unit over there in Russellville, and they have tons, and I mean tons, of Corliss Williamson memorabilia and things like that. And there was they had two different backboards that had Instead of Russellville, it said scratched out and said Corlissville on it. It has a big logo for the 1994 National Championship, and it's a full-size basketball backboard, and I have that currently hanging up in my garage. And that's one that I'd always like to put in an office someday, or maybe in a studio. So those are some of my other cherished antiques and my prized possessions as well. You can continue to send those in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963, and we'll try our best to get to all those calls and texts as well as we go on here through the morning rush. We'll also give you a Masters update here coming up in just a second. But I also want to talk to you about the fact that we're brought to you this morning by our good friends over at Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's the best Tex-Mex, and it's even they have the best Tex-Mex around and even better service right over there at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith every single day. Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsa, queso dip, and guacamole. They have crispy warm chips to start your meal. They have fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and more that will make your experience one that you won't forget. Great Tex-Mex and even better service over there at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps. Christian, me and you have been there a handful of times together with Matt and Phil, and we typically eat our weight in chips and salsa before the meals even come out over there at Joe's. Good stuff. Good stuff. Quick Masters update for you real quick before we move on to our SEC update. Want to give you some updates as to what's going on over there at Augusta. Currently, the leader is Tommy Fleetwood. He is tied with Patrick Reed. They are both at 3 under. Under them is Jose Maria. Don't know how to say his last name. I've been corrected 3 or 4 different times now by 4 or 5 different people. But the Spanish golfer, he is currently 2 under as well through 11. Dustin Johnson also at 1 under. Rory McIlroy.
How's Happy Gilmore doing?
Happy Gilmore currently not listed. I think he starts a little bit later on tonight. A little bit later on tonight out there. I'm sure. And you think that has anything to do with the whole with the whole goofiness of the Masters now? Is just how popular that second Happy Gilmore was.
Well, Tiger's not in it, so
no,
I mean,
he's
you got to
not.
have.
Neither
You got
is Phil. Kind of weird.
You got to bring some star power. I mean, not that those guys aren't. They're all great golfers, but when Tiger's not in it, it kind of feels.
Yeah, it's not the
little
same. I mean,
different.
people watch golf because they want to watch Tiger do incredible things I've never seen anybody else do before. But we'll give you a couple more updates here before we close out the show. But right now, it's looking like there's no serious leaders that are really pulling away from anybody. Tommy Fleetwood and Patrick Reed are both 3 under through 5, so it looks like they could be starting off to have a really good day over there at Augusta. All right, folks, this is going to wrap it up for the first part of this segment here. We're going to bring you back in just a minute with our SEC update. We'll talk a little bit about the SEC baseball standings. Shane Beamer had something to say, which is just unfortunate. I wish he wouldn't say much of anything at all. But we'll be back in a little bit with just some stuff on that. He talked about the SEC's 9-game football schedule coming up here in this next season and what that could mean for the SEC as a whole, because the Big Ten's been whipping that ass for a little bit at football. So have some more of that coming back here in just a minute. Stay tuned. This is The Morning Rush with Colton Little and Christian Johnson.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Evan Cohen here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
How lit was that game for you guys?
This is the Morning Rush.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Taco Bell's Let's Boxes are going to people's heads. Because once they experience the refined $5 bots, opulent $7 bots, and indulgent $9 bots with the new crispy chicken crunch wrap slider, they start expecting everything to be as Lux.
Home, James.
You know you don't have a chauffeur, right? Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes today.
It's Kubota Orange Day sales event at Gray Brothers in Fort Smith and Poto. Whenever you're ready, we're ready with Kubota equipment in stock. Hay equipment to zero-turn mowers and Kubota tractors. From the small subcompact DX up to the large Kubota M7 cab tractor and everything in between. Why wait? When at Gray Brothers, it's in stock and on sale. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a limit.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
What's new at the Golf Nut in 2026? Plenty. Mizuno JPX One Woods and Hybrids are now in stock. So are Cobra Optim Adapt Woods, Hybrids and Irons, ready for every swing style. Starting in February, check out our brand new Titleist ball display featuring every number Titleist Pro V1 ball from 0 to 99. Step inside our newly remodeled retail space, explore the simulation bays, and experience our new fitting and lesson bay. Plus, new inventory arriving weekly. The Golf Nut, everything you need to play better.
Presented by Central Hydraulics. When your equipment slows down, every minute matters. At Central Hydraulics, they keep your machines operating with the power and precision they were built for. From custom hydraulic hoses made while you wait to cylinder rebuilds, pump repairs, and hard-to-find parts, their technicians get you solutions you need. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Stop by 6104 Highway 271 in Fort Smith or call 479-646-0471. Whether it's a simple hose replacement or a major hydraulic repair, they're here to keep your equipment performing. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
making sure, when I say us, the SEC, that playoff committee going forward is valuing strength of schedule too in regards to who has an opportunity to get in the playoff. And if I'm not mistaken, that's 3 straight national champions that haven't played a Power 4 team non-conference. And if I'm wrong about that, I apologize, but
You're not.
I think I'm accurate in saying that. So again, Indiana won it. They were a hell of a team last season, and we got great teams in this league too. And we need to make sure that we continue to worry about ourselves and what we need to do as a conference to put our best teams forward to give us the most number of teams to have an opportunity to get in the playoff. And 10-2, you're in. 9-3, you're out. And we had a 10-2 team in this league last year that didn't get in, which is tough to see.
That would have been 2 years ago.
Yeah, heartbreaking when one of the worst people has to make a good point. That's exactly what happened right there with Shane Beamer on Paul Feinbaum yesterday, talking a little bit about the SEC schedule and the 9-game grind that is now coming to the SEC here. When you talk about the strength of schedule, I think this is one of the worst arguments possible, because you have a really high strength of schedule when you're terrible. Like, of course, you're going to have a hard strength of schedule when you're not very good. So whenever Arkansas has the second hardest schedule in the country, again, like they have the last, I don't know, it seems like 10 years, it's because they've not been very good for the majority of those 10 years. So the whole strength of schedule thing, the fact that the Big Ten and the last 3 champions have not played a Power 4 team outside of their conference schedule, though, that is an interesting point that Beamer brings up. But Christian, to me, that kind of seems like that would be the game plan, is if you have to play that extra Power 5 game outside of your conference slate, like now is being required from the SEC, you should find 2 of the biggest, creamiest cupcakes you could find to at least guarantee yourself 2 wins. So that's how college football has gone forever. But Big C, what do you make of the SEC 9-game schedule and maybe some of the comments that Beamer made?
I mean, he's got a point, but I think like South Carolina is one of those teams. They're not going to win. They're not going to go 9-3, 10-2 like every year. Yeah. Just the way, like you said, the schedule's so hard, and by adding a 9th game, it kind of helps. It kind of helps the top half of the league, I guess, because that's another win that they've got on their belt, another likely quality win, and for teams like Arkansas and South Carolina right now, it's just another game. It's going to be tough the whole season, really. I mean, I don't think it changes a whole lot. I mean, obviously, if you've got to play 9 conference games, you would like your non-conference games to be all cupcakes. But I don't know that. I mean, to me, it just helps the top half of the league. Which, I mean, there's got to be a bottom and a top half every year. I mean, not every team can win 9 or 10 games. It's just I don't know. I don't see, if you're a good team, it's another chance to get a big win.
Yeah,
it's also another chance at getting a loss. So really, I don't think it should hurt anybody for if you lose that game. But I'm trying to see their reasoning, and there's a lot of speculation on why they did it. But have they ever really came out with like a clear-cut reason why they wanted to do that?
Probably money. That's what I have to guess. Because, I mean, you're going to get better TV ratings. You're going to get all the big stuff. That's another game for 8 of these conference schools to have on their home campus against a marquee opponent, which is what anybody coming in from the SEC would. So it's a chance to make, a couple extra $1 million in revenue for your football program. So I imagine that the powers that be over there, Mr. Swanky Sankey himself, is probably all in favor of this. And it also, like you said, it does bolster your resume for some of the top teams. It gives you that extra win. So for the teams that are in the bottom half, some of the cellar dwellers, like South Carolina has been, like unfortunately the Razorbacks have found themselves in time and time again, it is anything but beneficial. But hopefully, as things turn around here in Fayetteville, which they could with Ryan Silverfield, hopefully that extra game is just another chance for you to have to see your Razorbacks, whether it be in person here at Razorback Stadium or to watch a good game on television in that conference slate. But that was just an interesting take right there from Shane Beamer that I wanted to address here this morning. But SEC baseball obviously happening this weekend. There are some really interesting series that are coming up here during this SEC baseball slate. Obviously, Arkansas taking on Alabama. That's a ranked matchup. Number 22 Arkansas versus number 8 Alabama. That first pitch is going to be starting on Friday at 6 p.m. Down there in Tuscaloosa. Some other important matchups right now happening in the SEC. Number 2 Texas and Texas A&M starting at 7 p.m. on Friday. Texas A&M is number number 18 as well in the country, and they find themselves sitting pretty in the standings at number 5 overall at 7-5. Mississippi State taking on Tennessee, Missouri and South Carolina. Probably not going to watch that one. Florida and Georgia, Oklahoma and Vanderbilt, Kentucky and Auburn, LSU and Ole Miss. Some of the big SEC series coming up this weekend. Christian, you imagine if you make it back to 500 by the time that conference play is over, that you'll find your way into a regional somewhere? I think that we can almost beyond, I don't want to say.
You've got to sweep somebody, right?
You've got to sweep
Like
somebody
Missouri
at some point. Missouri, that's a good thing to have them on the schedule. But you've got to be able to go out there and at least claw your way back to close to getting to 500 here pretty soon. Otherwise, your chances of even making that big tournament kind of go out the window a little bit. I think that, can you think it's fair to say right now that if, the way that things are looking right now, they're probably not going to be playing a postseason game at Baum-Walker?
Oh, no. Not as of right now, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
I wouldn't imagine that that's the case either. But sometimes, as we've seen before, that they can go all the way out to Chapel Hill and make it to Omaha that way as well. They've definitely made it to Omaha before, and they didn't have to do it by way of Fayetteville. But that would be one thing that you'd like to see, is potentially them still find a way to claw back into 500 conference record, somewhere near that, and get a chance to play in the national tournament as well.
The blowouts need to stop.
Yes,
like just getting absolutely obliterated. That's not going to help you. I mean, you've got to learn how to compete and make games close and win close games. Once they start doing that, they might be okay by postseason, but just the non-competitive games that they've had in some of these series lately is concerning.
You're talking about winning close games. This is a baseball conversation, Big C, not football. No, I'm just
right.
I'm just kidding. But that's
issue.
exactly how it feels at this point in this season. It's been such a big letdown at times. And if they would have lost to UALR on Tuesday night, which thank goodness they didn't, I don't know how you could stomach a season where you lose games to Arkansas State and UALR. That would have been, that'd have been a really, really tough one. And like we've talked about, obviously Missouri State's, they've been a wagon before. They're a very good baseball club. They played them at home. You get a rematch with them April 21st. And obviously UALR, they took LSU to the brink last year down there in Baton Rouge. But as I've said before, you just can't trust the Trojans. So obviously things didn't work out down there for them. But not baseball programs that are like so far beneath you that it's downright embarrassing. But here in Arkansas and our baseball fandom and the people and the things that we've become accustomed to, kind of hard to stomach some of these losses. And like you said, the blowouts are what make it really, really frustrating, because I think they flashed the graphic up the last couple of times during the last SEC series and in these past couple of midweeks. But guys like Camden Kojal, guys like Reese Robinette, guys like Kuhia Aloy who have SEC experience, they're just simply not hitting the ball very well at all. And that's one thing that they have to have improve. And, my wife was sitting there with me watching the game the other night against UALR, and Pompey was up to bat, and she says, every time I watch him, he hits a home run. And I said, really? Every time I watch him, he strikes out. So that's another thing that they've got to get figured out too. And this is no hate to TJ Pompey. He's a great player, and he's going to hopefully continue to have success here at Arkansas and maybe get that bat a little bit more straightened out for him up there at the plate. But they have really tried to play musical chairs a lot in the infield. Now they're playing kind of pick them and switch them around in the pitching rotation as well. I trust DVH to do all this stuff, Christian, but kind of like you alluded to earlier, time is sort of ticking there for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, and as good as a coach as he is, there's only so much he can do, really. He basically said it's up to them whether or not they want to just, lay down or just turn this season around. And I think just hearing some of their conversations after some of the wins they've had this year, this team has not laid down, and they're still hungry. But it's got to start this weekend. They've got to get it going against Alabama.
That's your SEC update this morning. It's brought to you by the Oaklawn Anywhere app. Hey, right now they've got the Apple Blossom happening down there at Oaklawn this weekend. I know that Chuck and Bo are probably on their way down to Hot Springs right now. They'll be doing a live show there tomorrow live from Oaklawn. But Apple Blossom happening right now there at Oaklawn. You can bet that on the Oaklawn Anywhere app. They've got live racing happening through May 2nd. iPhone and iPad users can download the Oaklawn Anywhere app in the Apple App Store. Android users can go to betoaklawn.com to save to your home screen. And once you sign up, new members can earn a sign-up bonus of up to $100. You can watch and wager on horse racing on any track from any smartphone, tablet, or personal computer. You can earn lots of points and cash back for every dollar wagered. They've got a free past performances and free access to valuable handicapping selections to help you win. Apple Blossom happening this weekend. It's going to start, I believe, at 12:45, and should be a very, very fun race over there happening in Oaklawn. And you can catch all the action and get all the betting needs that you would have for all those horse races happening over there at Oaklawn on the Oaklawn Anywhere app. Big C, obviously the Masters going on and everything right now as well, but I did want to mention something about this as well, because we talked a little bit about college football here and everything, and the Oregon quarterback coach had a very interesting quote over the weekend, and I want to play that for y'all right now.
Like, I ask them a question like this all the time. Hey, do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Okay, the minute a kid pauses, I don't really want that kid, right? Because you need to have some type of conviction, right, wrong, or indifferent. Okay, so whether you like chocolate or you like vanilla, I don't really care. But if you sit there and say, coach, I don't know. Is it melted? Is it not? What's the brand? So on and so forth. Like, what is this kid going to do on third down in front of 110,000? He's probably going to think about it more than he should. He's not going to have conviction, right? So it's, like I just said, long-winded, I understand, but it's the mental aspect is really what we're after.
And he is dead serious.
He is being 100% honest about that. And I think that is so funny, because I get the principle of the quote. Like, I understand what he's trying to say. If a guy's going to hesitate on something as simple as that, when something is super complex,
What's
like
your favorite ice cream?
Yeah, chocolate.
All right.
That's not true, but I mean, that's the first thing I thought of.
First thing.
So I don't, but I want to at least have some kind of conviction. I thought that was a funny quote, because, like, in my opinion, I do understand that, as a quarterback, you have to make these reads fast. You can't overthink things, but you also have to be able to process at an extremely elite rate. But could you really imagine missing out on like a 5-star generational prospect at quarterback because he didn't answer your question fast enough? And I also think about this. So, Dylan Raiola, the Patrick Mahomes wannabe, transferred from Nebraska to, I believe he's now at Oregon. And he's trying to be the next, quarterback to come from Oregon, like Herbert, Mariota, and everything like that. What is Dylan Raiola like? Is he a chocolate or a vanilla guy? It's very, very interesting. And I just thought that was so strange. Like, just because a guy can't answer a question fast, that means he's not even going to get a scholarship? Means he's not even going to get a look from the University of Oregon? I mean, man, they got all those uniforms over there. You'd think they could maybe have some more up-to-date recruiting tactics as well. But that seems like it's like a very boardroom meeting type of practice, I guess. You don't answer fast enough, you're not going to get the job. It's just, that was a very strange quote I heard this morning, Big C.
Yeah, and vanilla is the way to go.
It is the way to go.
And strawberry is a close second.
No. I don't like to mix fruit and dairy in any way, shape, or form. My stomach can't handle that. That's not me. But if you get down with strawberry ice cream, that's fine. You ever have strawberry milk when you were in school?
Yeah, but
Big C.
That's a difference.
But were you the guy that was sitting there in the middle of class during quiet reading time, and all of a sudden you look back and there's just a kid with pink strawberry milk vomit all over his desk? Was that you, Big C?
No, I was down in the chocolate milk.
You were down in the chocolate milk. Yeah, I probably always got one and bought
chocolate
another.
milk after a hot day.
Oh yeah, yeah, nothing better than that. Have it gurgling in your stomach all afternoon. Oh, nothing better. Nothing better than that. Oh man. I thought that was such a funny quote from the Oregon quarterback coach, who's got a name that's got a lot of apostrophes in there that I can't pronounce and won't. And to be honest with you, we probably won't be talking much about the Oregon quarterback coach very much here for the duration of this Morning Rush broadcast, or really any of the future Morning Rush broadcasts, to be quite honest with you. But hey, that's how it is here. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up right here for your SEC update. And one thing I do want to mention, like we always mention at this time of the show every single day, is our good friends and the wonderful place that you can go to escape all these dumb and name questions like, what's your favorite ice cream, or should the SEC go to a 9-game schedule? You can escape all of that by simply taking a nice trip over to see our friends at Gaston's White River Lodge. Gaston's White River Resort is located in the perfect place to get away, located right there on the White River. Gaston's offers private accommodations in their lodges and cabins, and most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen. You can let their restaurant staff deliver it to you as well, right to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Imagine watching the Masters in a private cabin up there, food catered right to you. That'd be beautiful. You can do that right now. Call Gaston's at 870-431-52. You can learn more about them at gastons.com. Gaston's White River Resort. I've always wanted to do this, Big C. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time. every time.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices, like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the Mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Stolen away by Thomas. Malik with the steal and the one-handed windmill slam to make it 82-51.
This is the Morning Rush.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hotline, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual.
Now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford, as well as heavy-duty diesel repair and diagnostics.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, your Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley. Xerox is more than just a brand, it's your ultimate business partner. Whether you need high-speed printers, powerful copiers, or seamless cloud solutions, Xerox has the tools to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. And right now, for a limited time, we're offering a free Xerox color printer with the lease or purchase of many Xerox models. To learn more, call us at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, your partner in business success.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Since 1974, the folks in the River Valley have trusted West Ark Yamaha in Fort Smith for quality and service you just can't find at those big box stores. Now expanding into zero-turn mowers, West Ark Yamaha carries Bobcat, a high-quality commercial mower built to perform, and World Lawn, the best value in zero-turn mowers. Plus, they stock Husqvarna chainsaws and Red Max blowers and trimmers. West Ark Yamaha services what they sell. Right now, get 0% financing on all mowers. West Ark Yamaha, serving Fort Smith since 1974.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
All right, we're here in one last segment. Lightning quick here to wrap it up on the Morning Rush. Myself, Colton Little, Christian Johnson filling in for Ty and Tommy here this morning. We're brought to you by our good friends over at Uncorked. Uncorked is unlike anything else in the region, featuring stunning wood decor, an enormous wine barrel ceiling, 40 craft beer taps, a wall of wine machines, a bourbon tap, outdoor patio, cigar room, live music, mouth-watering tapas, and full plates. Uncorked is unrivaled in experience, from casual evenings on the patio, relaxing by the fire, to date night, special celebrations, or watching your favorite sports teams. The atmosphere is always far from ordinary. Conveniently located at the corner of Phoenix and Lee Avenues here, right off I-540, Uncorked is the preferred destination for food and drinks. Thank you to our good friends over there at Uncorked. That'd be a good place to watch the rest of the Masters over there. Big C, we've made it through. We didn't get any ugly calls, nasty texts like that from our bosses. We've made it through. I believe they're ironing out the final details of our massive raises right now, so I'm looking forward to hearing just how much extra money they're going to be giving us after today's important staff meeting. But I appreciate you coming along for the ride this morning, Big C. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Cole.
Always. I mean, you work here with me, and there was nobody else to do the show, so we had to have you. But even if there was other people here, I still would have chose you, Big C. You're my boy. You're my
special.
You're my boy, Christian.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue. All right, folks, that'll do it for us here on the Morning Rush this morning. Thank you to everybody that called and texted in. I appreciated getting all the pictures of all your various cherished antiques and everything like that. Keep sending those in throughout the rest of the day. We love to look at old stuff here on the Morning Rush, as well as all across our ESPN Arkansas broadcasting base. Halftime coming up. Matt, Phil, Christian.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, it seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that Hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those www.
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go.